Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel. What is up, Mr. Tucci?
What is up, Mr. Scala?
What is going on, my man?
Oh, man, my studio's such a mess, bro.
I know, it's such a fucking mess. How dare you?
It really is a mess.
You need to get like a green screen and just clean it once, take a photo of it, and then just put that green screen behind you.
That's a good idea. I have a green screen from the Blevins Media Center. It's just too small.
It's too tiny for you, bro.
It's too tiny for me, bro.
It's because you're too big, man. You're too big. You're big time.
Big
hunting the big bucks out there.
Big deal, bro.
Hunting those horns.
Making the big money.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Rhyming and stealing like a fucking beastie boy, bro. Sorry for cursing, but I don't care, man.
Well, the apologies are good. We're good with the apologies. What's up? We got Andrew Wilson in the house. What up, the Canuck people? We got a great show tonight, man.
Oh, we got a great show.
Man, great show. Great creator. Back for a third time on our show, man. This guy is becoming an indie legend, one of the Comicsgate greats, working for that independent, making those books you love. Billy Tucci, my man. Who do we got tonight, brother?
Shoot, dude. Who do you think we got tonight? I got to bring him in, man. Can I bring him in? Ladies and gentlemen,
I feel like when I hear his name, I feel like there should be a sir in front of it. It's powerful.
I don't mind saying that. Sir.
Demands respect. Like,
we could do that.
Knighted in the world of comic making.
We could do that, bro. We could do that.
Do it.
I'm just trying to think of a cool intro. He truly is the Cat Pappy. He is the Cat King. He is the Sir Patrick Thomas. I think you're going to finish that. I think you're going to finish it.
Parnell. The true Cat Pappy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what that's going to go over. I think
you just fucked him, bro.
Yeah, I think Shane and I are kind of tied. I think we have about the same amount of cats.
He's got 7 cats too?
He's got a lot too. He definitely has a lot. But I appreciate that. That was a good intro.
You got it. We got 2 cats, and one of them I want to murder. So how the hell did you come about getting 7 cats?
Well, I had 2 that I've had for a long time. Like, I have a brother and sister that are about 16, and then my wife and I, we started dating, and then we basically like, she had 1, so then we had 3, and then we found one walking about out in like a bar parking lot like a kitten. So we grabbed that one and kept that one. And then there was a neighborhood cat that we started to feed, and then we're like, well, what's one more? So we let her in, and she ended up being pregnant.
Oh, you're like, what's one more plus like a litter of 6?
Yeah. So there was a time that we had 10 cats here, like not too long ago. But now we're down to 7. And I'll tell you one thing. I pride myself that when you walk through our door, you wouldn't even guess that we have 1 by the smell.
I respect that. That's a good thing.
Because dude, like nothing drives me more crazier than like a cat house or like a dirty litter box. And I'm like the cat litter box Nazi. I have like a bag. I have a bag of plastic bags right by the litter box, and I'm on it.
You gotta get that cement mixer looking one that just like when they're done, it like rotates.
Dude, on Indiegogo, I see that they have some crazy futuristic like cat like bidets and shit. You know, it's
the cat's just like meow.
Yeah, it's like all LED lights, and it fucking
the cat's
talks
always
to
going to the bathroom.
Yeah, it just lives in there.
Damn, what's up with that?
Nice. We got webcam. Porn. We got some porn coming in. Yeah.
All right. Now we're talking.
All right. Yes, let's do this. Make sure you freaking load up some free samples here, people.
What do you got some porn here? What is
got some porn coming in? I love this.
What the hell is that? Oh man,
webcam.
It's all over the place. How do you block them?
No, don't. It's my OnlyFans. I'm trying to get more people.
Oh shit, I blocked it.
I'm trying to get my.
It's some segueing, and that's what my whole thing's about. Bidets. So I put my new webcam site up.
That's what it was. I said bidet, and that's what happens.
That is awesome.
Dude,
It's a hot word.
Let's talk your friggin' campaign, bro.
Yeah, what do we got going on, man?
Oh well, we're doing the Legend of Sleepy Hollow for Halloween. It is this season. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And it's a fun, dude. It's a fun book. It's a little bit of illustration. It's a little bit of comic books. It's a little bit of children's illustration. It's a lot of graphic design. It's kind of like a mashup of a lot of things that I wanted to do, and it's all in black and white. It's something like this cover that I did for the book. I actually did as a inking demonstration in one of my illustration classes. And I was like, you know what? I want to do a Sleepy Hollow book one day. So over the past couple of years, like I would do a piece for this hypothetical book. And you know, just this holiday season, I just had enough to kind of put up a campaign. So I went ahead and, you know, put up the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I mean it's kind of a gamble because I wasn't sure how people were going to handle it. You know, it's like I'm a fan of old school like illustrated like books like N.C. Wyatt's like Treasure Island or like Robin Hood.
Hell
or
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. You know, I like those full page illustrations. So I kind of wanted to dabble with that a little bit. Now I still do comic books stuff in here too. There is some panel work, there is some narrative work, but I kind of just wanted to have no limits, and I wanted to really ham it up with some of these full page illustrations.
Nice, man. Now, this is kind of cool because, like, doing the whole Sleepy Hollow story. I mean, this is obviously a very old tale that has been, passed through centuries now. And then going in through illustration, is there a process that you have to go through, or is it free game for anyone to go in as long as the proper credits are there?
Yeah, I mean it's public domain. It's been public domain for like 150 years, like in a crazy amount of years.
Oh wow.
What's the original story? Like was it a book? Like
it was a short story in Irvin Washington's book of like what's it called? Hold on, I have it right here. I have it right on my desk. It's called The Legend of Sleepy Hollows and Other Stories by Washington Irving, and it has what's the other ones there? Rip Van Winkle is another good story that's in here. Mm-hmm. But I have this book. This book was printed in I think 1959, so I have an old copy. Yeah, you know, it's funny with all the movies and even with the Disney cartoon that was around in the 70s, I think, or maybe the late 60s.
Oh, the movie.
Well, yeah. Remember that short Disney cartoon that was out? Yeah, they don't really kind of capture the book. There's a lot that they leave out of the short story. So, I wanted to incorporate a lot of that stuff in there. Like with Sleepy Hollow, like they kind of just touch upon Sleepy Hollow as a town, but there was a lot of other type of witches and ghosts happening in Sleepy Hollow at the same time. The Headless Horseman was just like the most popular of all of them. But supposedly, it's crazy because now Sleepy Hollow, I think it's only 45 minutes from like New York City. But at the time,
it's upstate New York, right?
Yeah, but it's not far, right?
No, that wouldn't be far at all. That's like that's like where Scala's mother-in-law was.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, at the time,
it's like Westchester area, isn't it? Yeah. Sleepy Hollow was supposed to be like in the Westchester area, I thought.
Terrytown.
Terrytown. Really close.
Terry.
Yeah,
as they say in New York, Terry.
That's Scottsdale.
But at the time, it was the boonies. Right. 250 years ago, it was like out in the woods. And they had a lot of stories about a lot of like witches and ghosts and ghouls and goblins running around the woods. A lot of Native American stories as well. So yeah, it's a fun story, and there's things that I wanted to highlight in this book and illustrate that they don't put in the movies. They didn't put in the Johnny Depp movie. Like the Johnny Depp movie is cool. It doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the the story of Sleepy Hollow, except for there's a headless horseman. It doesn't really follow the short story at all.
It had Christina Ricci though, right? Ricci.
Yeah. She did a good job as a good young Van Tassel. She fits the description very well, but I mean, it's like in the movie, he's like a weird type of detective, but in the story, he's a teacher at a school.
Mm-hmm.
And Ichabod, he's a very interesting character. So I kind of wanted to touch upon him, and I do some fun illustrations of Gunpowder as well, which is the horse that he uses that doesn't really get a whole lot of credit as well.
Now the Gunpowder is the horse that the Headless Horseman uses.
No. Gunpowder is the name of Ichabod's horse, who is ancient, and they kind of describe him as kind of like dusty, but he used to be like the fastest horse like in the country, you know, and you know the horse kind of is pretty sedated until the Headless Horseman shows up, and then he kind of like freaks out and jumps to life.
Oh, all right. So what's it for those you don't know, including me, or don't remember?
Mm-hmm.
Give us the gist on the legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Well, the gist of it is just about Ichabod Crane is a school teacher from Connecticut who gets hired to move out to Tarrytown and in the village of Sleepy Hollow just be a teacher. And like the dude, you know, he's got a very big appetite. He likes the ladies. But there's one gal very specifically that he's interested in because her father pretty much owns a lot of the countryside, and that's the Van Tassel family. Her name's Katrina. So he kind of gets in a bit of a tussle with this guy named Braun, who is like the man's man of the neighborhood, and they're both kind of fighting over Katrina. But in the background of the story, it's like, again, like Sleepy Hollow is like not a lot of people, a lot of ghost stories. And Ichabod himself is into witchcraft and he kind of studies it a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like he has books on it as well. And it's just funny because it's like the story is more about him and Braun fighting over Katrina. And then, one late night after a party, Ichabod is headed home, and I think everyone knows that part because that's the Disney movie. That's where Ichabod is headed home from after a party, and the Headless Horseman kind of comes after him.
Does he kill it? But it doesn't kill him, right?
I don't know, Billy. You got to read the book.
You gotta read the book, Billy. Come on. He didn't kill him in the Disney, that's for sure. But maybe,
I mean, it's actually good. I mean, like just the also it's also known as America's first horror story. It's about 201 years old, but it's known as like the first American horror story, and it's great because I mean it has a good ending. It's like, I mean, I'm not kidding, Billy. Like you actually don't know if he's dead or not.
Oh my gosh!
It's an interesting ending that happens. So, and it's again like this is kind of like a guilty pleasure for me wanting to do it. This is a story that I've liked for a long time, and I love jack-o'-lanterns and I love Halloween. Yeah. So this kind of gives me an excuse just to draw the shit out of them, you know?
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to do just like a really fun illustrative book where I could just do, splash page here or panel here or spot illustration here. And I can play with the fonts too. I can do all types of stuff and just really ham it up a little bit.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So let's check out your campaign video.
Yeah. Dude,
haunting. I love it.
what a great video. Who did you put that video together yourself?
No, I outsourced it. I made the storyboards though, Billy. That counts, right?
Oh yeah, it does. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah. Well, I had I had a handful of images, and I kind of just put enough to put together a presentation, and that's what we came up with. And I'm excited because like when you do something weird like this, like you're not sure if anyone's gonna come. It's like when you launch, and people have been excited about it, and it's been a good response. I'm excited to get this book in people's hands. And not only that, like, if this goes well, I'd like to do other type of classics. I'd like to do like an Edgar Allan Poe like book, or possibly 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. There's other
gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, there's other open domain books that I would like to kind of like re-illustrate. Like one of the tiers that's on here is you get 2 books, and one of the books I suggest you go donate to your local library. Outside most libraries, they have like a box where you can donate books.
Yep.
I think it'd be cool to get a new version of Sleepy Hollow in your local library, but also I think it'd be cool to get a Comicsgate Sleepy Hollow book inside your local library. So
definitely.
that's one of the tiers that's on there. But like I was saying, if this goes well, I'd like to do more of these down the road.
Definitely. And we got a $5 super chat from North Free. Thank you for that. Does Patrick have any original art left for sale other than what's on Indiegogo?
Nope, that's it right now. I'm actually going to be making a new time lapse video of another piece that's going to be going up this weekend. So I'll have one more piece up before the end of this campaign. That's in a couple days here. So no, just what's up there right now. But I'll have another piece up in a day or two.
Awesome. So let's talk creative process of this book here, because obviously it's Sleepy Hollow, right? It's a very haunting story. Like you said, it's a horror story from over 200 years ago. I have to ask, like, this is something you want to do. So it was kind of like a guilty pleasure to do this book, to get this done, especially for this time of year. The style of the book, was this just already in your head and it just flowed on paper, or did you try different things to get the result that we're looking at in the campaign?
Well, I mean, really, this is kind of like my straight up style. Like, that face that's up there in the left-hand corner, and like in that page, that's kind of how I draw, just without using reference. Now, obviously, like I used reference on the horses here because horses are hard as hell to draw. But like usually I use a lot of reference for figures, for cars, for weapons, blah, blah, blah. A lot of this stuff, I tried kind of just coming up like out of my head. If I had questions about a horse, I kind of jumped on pictures of horses. But like for example, like that scene with him walking over the hill right there, like all that's out of my head.
That's brilliant, dude.
It is.
That's
gorgeous.
a brilliant page.
And this will stay black and white?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. So yeah, again, it's like I tried drawing this stuff like straight out of my head, opposed to kind of using more reference like I do with my comic book stuff. So it has kind of like and like, it's weird. It's like it has a very over the top, like animated type of feel. Like that shot right there up to the Van Tassel house. Again, like all in my head, I just drew out the grid for the stairs, and then I did a type of composition just leading right to the house.
Yeah, the perspective of this and everything just looks amazing. Just right, it's like you focus first on that jack-o'-lantern, and then you see your pathway up to the house, which is just awesome. I just love it because it's just such a haunting look to it, though. I know, like, oh, it's in my style, this and that, but you've captured just this essence that makes me, I'm looking forward to this. I really want to see the final product of this. Even though it's a 200-year-old story, I want to read it, but I want to visualize it from your mind. And I think the samples that you're giving here, they're very tempting, my friend. It's like when I'm at Costco and I got to hit all those free samples. Very tempting.
Well, I mean, like I was saying, like I'm really hamming it up as far as composition and design goes. I mean, like that shot right there, it's like if you were walking around that field, you would have to be perfectly in that shot to see everything lined up like that. Same thing with the horseman with the moon as the head. So I'm really trying to kind of like push it. Like I'm almost like it's almost tongue in cheek, like how obvious I'm kind of being with the design elements.
Very cool, dude.
It's just beautiful, Patrick. It really is. So
Now I'm sorry, Billy. Go ahead.
now going back to that he's a Hessian. So is he a slain Hessian soldier from the Revolutionary War?
Yeah, from the Revolutionary War. He's like his story is he's like a Slavic like hitman, like mercenary type of soldier. And he actually gets his head blown off by a cannon. And he's just a brute, he's not, he's just there as like a hired gun to fight in the Revolutionary War,
right?
And what's funny in this story is because this was written in 1819, but this story was only about like it was about 25 years earlier. So it's kind of interesting, it's like for us 25 30 years earlier, it's like it's kind of like everything is different. There's no cell phones around, like none of that shit. But I mean, 25 and 30 years to them, like everything was almost exactly the same,
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting when they're talking about him getting his head blown off, because it's like they talk about it like it was a long time ago, but it really wasn't.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's a fast-paced world now.
Now, Scala, you're a huge what you would call it? You're really into the
paranormal. Are you talking about the paranormal?
And all this?
Yes.
Do you have a fondness for these old stories? I think they're great.
I do, because if you actually dig down deep, these stories aren't necessarily, all fiction. A lot of these old horror stories, if you want to call it, or urban legends, all come from some form of reality, whether they felt it was really a ghost or saw something in the woods and they elaborated the story. Some of them are, are just pure fiction, but a lot of them aren't. And if you dig real deep, Billy, you'll find out the true story.
I love it. See, I've never gone up there. I mean, I've gone to Rhinebeck, and I remember like Sleepy Hollow. I remember the name being from New York and all, but never went up there. Have either of you guys ever been up there?
No, I haven't.
I have not. No.
I'd like to go up there, and what place I'd like to go to is Montauk. That's kind of by you, isn't it, Billy?
Yeah. Go to Montauk all the time. You come up here, bro. We'll go to Montauk. We'll take the ladies.
Well, I mean, there's that old military base that's up there. That's on the end, and like I don't know if you know about this, but that TV show Stranger Things was kind of based off of the things they were doing at Montauk.
Oh well, see what they're doing is that base over there is that's a radar station. That's from World War II. But now I've never watched Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's a weird, it's a really far out there TV show, but they based a lot of the things in that show off of things that were supposed to be done at Montauk. But yeah, I'd like to go out there and just walk around and take pictures, because I like that antenna that's on top of that building out there, it's very unusual how they built it. It has a strange design. It's not like there wasn't like many of those made. There's only one. It's a very strange antenna.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of like a big deal. Like as far as I mean, even stuff involving the Philadelphia project. I don't know if you're familiar with that, where they made that battleship disappear.
Yeah,
where it disappeared and reappeared. Like they made a movie about it too. But like the Montauk compound has a lot to do with the Philadelphia experiment, even though it's like they're completely not even close to each other. But yeah, I'd love to go check out that place up there. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting places up there. Sleepy Hollow, Montauk. I mean, in Jersey, there's lots of stuff weird in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, Northeast, man, is filled with a bunch of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool. A lot of cool.
Go to Salem.
Legends and stuff. Yeah, see Salem up in
Go to
Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem is crazy right now. It's so busy because every October people go nuts over it.
Yeah, I bet.
Out there now, Pat, did you cut? That looks like my house. That image right there. I lit my house up in orange and purple lights.
Oh yeah,
I love that color combination for Halloween.
Yeah, absolutely. So like what we're looking at right now is what everyone gets. If we get to 15 grand, if everyone gets to 15 grand, everyone gets a 9x6. It's kind of like a giant postcard print of this.
Nice.
So if we get to 15, everyone gets a little bit of color. And then after that, and once we get to 20, we're going to put a dust jacket on it. And then once we get to 25, we're going to have a poker chip put with it. So everyone likes to get the poker chips from Riot Press. So
there you go. Riot Press.
Awesome,
poker chips,
man.
Baby.
That's awesome. This thing looks great.
It's gorgeous, dude.
It is. It really all your stuff's fantastic. Yeah. You're a phenomenal illustrator, and you can your storyboarding, your capturing, and your panels. I mean, it's always something that aspiring artists and stuff that I know in the Comicsgate community and the indie community that know you look up to your style and the work you do. So it's cool to see. And you've been really kind of starting to crank out your campaigns, which is cool. You don't have to wait too long to get something new from you. It seems like you're really starting to get a good flow.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's like after I graduated from the Cubert school, I ended up teaching at a art school in Florida called Ringling. And I kind of got tied up teaching for a while, and I wasn't really producing a whole lot of art. I was just teaching a lot of computer animators and students about toy design and stuff like that. And, I wasn't really doing a whole lot for myself. And I ended up leaving there and started working on Johnny Phantasm with Evan. And then that's when kind of Comicsgate rolled around. I started to dabble working for IDW a little bit. I did some Ninja Turtle stuff. And then I also worked for Archie a little bit and did some stuff for Sonic the Hedgehog and Mega Man. And it's funny because like I only worked in the comics for a short while, and I kind of realized that people were kind of like editors were kind of like inexperienced and just kind of dumb, like for example, I'll give you an example. Like I know people in the chat that know me know the story, so just bear with me. But I did a Ninja Turtles cover for IDW. And Chris Rael gave me the job. He kind of gave me over to the editor whose name is Bobby Conroy. And, he didn't really want to work with me, but he worked with me just because Chris brought me over there because I was friends with Chris. And I was working on the animated series. It was a cover for the animated series. So I had to send my roughs to Bobby, and Bobby had to send them to Nickelodeon. Then Nickelodeon had to send them back to Bobby and send them back to me. It took an entire month just to get one cover done, just because Bobby was so slow. But Nickelodeon kept on having me mess with the modeling because they wanted the modeling to be just right. So from start to finish, I did 15 different versions of that cover.
Holy crap!
And by mistake, Bobby sent the first version to print. It was a JPEG. It was in the stores, and I had not got paid for it. So it was like and Nickelodeon was pissed because he sent the wrong file to print, like the wrong cover, and he actually kind of like threw me under the bus. Like he kind of put the blame on me. And it was weird because it's just one of those things that I was like, dude, like this is what like comic books, this is like how IDW runs, and so it's like yeah, and it's like, and the dude was just like really limp wristed, and like he was like about 10 years younger than me and just inexperienced, and I was just like, dude, your one job is to make sure that the right file goes out. I'm like, how do you even send a JPEG to print? Like how do you do that by mistake? Like it's one thing to send a wrong file, but to see JPEG down and you're sending that a JPEG to print, So that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna do my own thing, and hooked up with Evan, and we started doing Johnny Phantasm. And one of the reasons why I've been cranking them out is because I haven't really necessarily done as many books as, well, I mean, not even close to as many books as Billy's done, or Ethan's done, or Shane has done, or Fraga has done. So it's like I actually have a lot to I feel like I have a lot to prove as far as making comic books and making content. So one of the reasons why I've been busy, getting so many books out in the past 2 years is I'm just trying to build up some street cred. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I want people to go, oh, that dude definitely does cool books, or he makes a cool toy, or like he does the shit he says he's gonna do. A lot of people kind of just roll up in here and expect to make a lot of money right out the bat, and if they don't, they get pissed and then they leave. Like my first campaign, I made $7,000, and I was very happy with that. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I doubled it and I made more. And it was like every campaign got better and better because I started earning people's trust. And that's just that's my strategy. Is like I'm just gonna do as many books as I can. I'm gonna do them as well as I can, and I'm just gonna get them in people's hands and just get some street cred, get some clout, but the right type of clout.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know us that we have we have all types of creators on here, and we've always been especially going back to the beginning, Comicsgate friendly to Comicsgate creators and all. And just how did you end up becoming a part of Comicsgate? What was it about that attracted you to it? And because you've been a part of, you've been around since 2018, 2019?
I've been around since 2018. I've been around for a minute. Well, so like how it happened to me was I was working at Archie Comics for a little while, doing covers for an editor over there, and he ended up going to DC, and he was like, "I want you to come over here and do some covers for me." And I was like, "Oh, that'd be great." For what? He's like, Action Comics. I'm like, "Okay, I've heard of that. I'll do some covers." So I did a bunch of thumbnails for him. I did a bunch of my employee information. I give them my direct deposit information. I filled out all my tax forms for them. I was ready to start taking assignments from DC. And this was 2016. I gave a shout out that I was like, "Hey, I'm a Democrat, but I just so happen to be voting for Trump because I think Hillary's an idiot."
Sure.
I never heard from the editor again. The editor blocked me. And he dodged me. He dodged me at Comic-Cons, and never even explained to me, never even talked to me about it. And it took me a while to figure out exactly what happened. And I saw his account through another person's account, and he was all about Hillary Clinton, on Facebook. Jeez. So I was like, that's crazy. And this is before Comicsgate. So this is before the whole cancel culture thing was around. So I was like, that's weird. I was like, I'm like, I voted for Obama last time. Why can I not vote for this guy this time? I don't understand. So I started to notice things, and then I heard about this guy working at Marvel named John Malin, who something similar happened to him where he got canceled for doing something. So I again, this is before Comicsgate was around. So I reached out to John on Facebook, and I was just like, "Hey man, I read this article about you. That sucks. Something similar happened to me. I appreciate whatever you did. Blah blah blah." So I always watched him and watched what John was doing. And then I started watching this dude that was doing these funny Star Wars critiques on YouTube.
Right.
And I was like, and I'm from New Jersey, so I was like, this dude's funny. He sounds like all my friends back in Jersey, and he made me laugh. Well, it turned out it was actually Ethan. I didn't know comics Artist Pro Secrets was Ethan. The dude just made me laugh. And then one night, I saw that him and John Malin and those guys were all in a live chat, and they're all talking. They said Comicsgate. I was like, what is Comicsgate? So I just started listening to them, and I was like, and they were talking about the same thing that happened with me with DC, and eventually the same thing that happened with me working in the colleges, because it's the same thing everywhere.
Yeah,
it's not just comic books. It's it's in colleges. It's in hospitals, it's in police stations. You know, like this isn't just happening in comics. This is happening everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So you know, I saw the whole Comicsgate thing happening. You know, and then I just again I reached out to John again. And I was just like, hey man, you know, like I'm with you guys. I have this book called Johnny Phantasm. He had me on his show, you know, way back then. You know, I popped in the Ethan show a little bit like back in the day, but I was kind of camera shy. I still am a little camera shy. And then eventually, you know, like I did a Cyberfrog painting and Ethan liked it, and then he kind of sent me the link to kind of just come hang out all the time, and then that's kind of how I just been around and just hanging out with everyone now. So
man,
that was a long story.
No, it's a good story.
It's a good story.
It goes beyond before that even, because I got canceled over at DC because I voted for Romney.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, I told this on Ethan's show. I might have told it on this one. Forgive me for those of you who've heard it before, but I remember when they said, you know, I was up for a big book, and they're like Tucci, and the editor's like, yeah, it's like I'm not hiring Tucci, and the big time writer said, why? What's wrong with Billy? He's been doing this for 25 years, or not quite, whatever, 20 over 20 years. You know, he's you know, and he goes, you know, he's just coming off, you know, Sergeant Rock, doing all these books, got nominated for an Eisner, won this gold medal for the books, all this. He goes, guy's a fucking Republican.
Yeah.
And that was 2012. That was it. That was it, man, for me.
It was building up, man. It was building up. And now it's just completely out of control.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's like when you think about the timeline and how we got here, and how it gets even more crazy. You know, with the new what's the new admiral called today? What's her name? What's the picture I was just looking at earlier? Admiral. Well, never mind. It's not important.
I didn't see
an admiral.
An admiral?
Yeah, what's someone in the chat help me out? Like who am I talking about here? Like I know everyone knows what I'm talking
Where's
about.
Herwenberg when you need him?
Hold on, I'll find it in 1 second. What is it? It's Admiral
Rachel Levine?
Yeah, Admiral Levine.
Oh, Avril Levine?
Yeah, he is Admiral Levine now.
Oh, so wait, so Avril Levine is now a dude?
No.
No. She's still a she, but she's an admiral now.
An admiral.
An admiral?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not Avril Levine. You're not talking about
not the singer.
Avril Levine.
So there's an admiral.
Rachel Levine.
Okay, so there's an admiral in the U.S. Navy that
Rear Admiral whack job, says
right?
Dr. Mouse.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay. Well, it's the Navy.
That's like it made perfect sense for Billy.
She doesn't have a lot of ribbons for being an admiral. Is she really an admiral, or she was something else?
I don't know. I just saw that like right before I jumped on, and I was like, oh man.
She's the health advisor. Yeah, she's in charge of the health advisor to the the Surgeon General.
Yeah.
There's those are fake.
But now she's got a spiffy
Admiral in the Public Health Service.
Zoom in on that. Let me see that.
I mean, like that outfit looks very like third world, like Colombian, like communist.
Can you pop that on, Nile, again?
No, I didn't pop that up.
Oh, that was mine.
Okay, I'll bring it back up again, bro.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Sorry.
Public Health uses the rank also. It's an admiral of the public. The public, Bailey.
Oh, public uses it.
Okay, okay, Levine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those aren't even real ribbons. What
was that show?
Those aren't.
That show with that guy, the actor who was playing the trans woman?
Ribbons, so they must have their own little thing, and you know. Well,
but I mean,
it uses the rank, bro. It's an admiral of the Public Health Service.
Great.
Looks like something from like I don't know, like the next
So
the
very
next series, the next Amazon Prime series. Is this real? Like what?
The next Netflix
Yeah,
TV
next,
show.
yeah.
This is happens like when you cross the streams.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right. Okay. Well, all right.
I still like Billy's answer before, like, oh, it's the Navy. Then
it's the Navy. Don't worry about
there.
it.
Didn't even. He wasn't even shook. He wasn't even shook. That's it.
All right. Let's go back to the campaign. Let's check out some figures and stuff too now, please.
Well, yeah. So you got. He's off
I like the figures. I do have some new figures coming out, which is kind of fun.
Figures. Yeah. So you have. Let me pop up here. So you sent some stuff over. Are these some of the new figures?
Well, actually, yeah. Hold on a second here. Let me
share some stuff you got. Well, we lost him.
I kicked him. I kicked him for showing that stupid thing. So he's gone.
The goddamn Navy. It's the goddamn Navy trainees.
So Stella, how are you today?
Oh, I'm just fantastic.
Oh, that's.
I know that my health is under good observations now.
It's under good observations.
Good observations from the Admiral.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Where'd he go?
I don't know where he went. He just bolted.
I know. He's like, let me womp.
I do that all the time. I go to click something and then I click out.
But that's because you're one of those boomers, as they call it. The boomers.
No, I think it was the Admiral was after me.
I think so.
now you got the comic book editors and the Admiral after you.
So
now you can't go to. Now you can't get a doctor.
So obviously, we're here for this season. We're here for the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and we're gonna be rocking this for the next couple days, and then through Halloween. But after that, at the very beginning of the year, we're gonna be launching Johnny Phantasm Extreme '93, and here we have the super awesome cover by Shane Davis. And if you sign up early for Extreme '93, you're able to get a Shane Davis poker chip with your purchase. We've been putting out a lot of these poker chips, and this one, I don't know. I know it seems like every one that comes out is my favorite one, but I really like this one because it has the most colors that we've done in a poker chip. Also available in the campaign there is a cover drawn by me and inked by the infamous Art T Bear.
Nice, the infamous RT Bear.
That's right. And then also a part of the campaign is we're gonna have wave 2 of Johnny Phantasm. We're gonna have like these radical colors for Johnny, and then the guy on the right, he's actually gonna be like a clear green. He's like a translucent green Johnny.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, cool.
And we're actually basing him off of we call him the Slime Pit Green Johnny because he's kind of based off the Slime Pit He-Man with the red eyes.
Yep.
And then here's an example of what the radical looking Johnny is going to be. But I mean, so it's like when you come in and you support stuff like the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it helps us kind of power on through and bring this stuff to you as well. Like we actually pre-ordered these action figures because there's such a backup on stuff from China right now. Yeah. We had to order them like 2 months ago, so we'd have them by like January.
Yeah.
Supporting Sleepy Hollow helps stuff like this happen as well. So I mean, if you can back Sleepy Hollow, that's awesome. If that's not your thing, Johnny Phantasm's coming out in the beginning of January. Come back on both. We're just trying to do lots of fun things over here at Riot Press. We're just trying to do things that we would think people would want to see. And I mean, so far, people have been into what we're doing, so I think we're doing something right.
Definitely. No, yeah. Like we said, man, all the stuff is great they have coming out. Now, are you going to go in demand with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow?
Yes, I'm going to go into. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the official 30 days ends in 3 days, and then we're going to leave it up as a regular campaign until Halloween. And then we're just going to leave it like in demand, probably until I put in the order for the books. But I mean, like you guys know, like the sooner you back the more it helps everyone, because we know exactly how many books we can get, and we can kind of gear stuff out a little bit better. So if you're interested, don't wait. Sooner is better than later.
Gotcha. And then we got a great question here from Sons of Liberty Radio. Patrick, how do we get the Wave 1 figures if we are new to CG?
Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe look for them on eBay. Because I have about 5 of the glow in the dark ones. Right now, we're completely out of the purple ones, and we are making a small number of the black ones again that were part of Wave 1. So if you've kind of missed out, probably the secondary market is going to be the best place to get. Check back with me in a couple weeks. I might be able to put up a couple glow in the dark ones, but we are getting the black ones again. So that one was part of a Wave 1, and we'll have that again available in Wave 2. But yeah, that's one of the things with dealing with collectibles, because that's kind of what we do over here. It's like we don't necessarily deal with mass quantity books or statues and stuff like that. We kind of deal in collectible things, small numbers of things. And with the Johnny Phantasm action figures, we only made 600 of those. So it's if you got a Johnny Phantasm action figure, that's a very rare thing. So try it in the secondary market, and just make sure that you're just aware of when the second one launches, so you can get there.
Mm-hmm. Eric says, aren't you re-releasing the black one?
Yeah. I said that, didn't I think I did. Well, if I didn't say it, yeah. So we're going to be re-releasing the black one again in the Wave 2. So Wave 2 is going to be the radical colored translucent green, and then we're going to have the black one again, just because they really like black. You can't go wrong with black,
That's true.
Yeah, man, black is badass.
Yeah,
that's right.
Everything I have is black. Dr.
Except the shirt you're wearing right now.
What's that?
I have that one.
Black?
It's a gray.
It's like a charcoal.
It's like a charcoal. Yeah.
It's
a little dirty.
Yeah,
but
I got that one.
Dr. Moscas, figures look cool. We need to make them in America, but I doubt it is possible at this point. Is it possible to be making these figures here?
No, not at the moment, but we have a great man in the chat, Eric Huffles, and he worked on making the Kishi action figures, which that's these guys right here. These little they're like the muscles.
Yeah.
Yep. So Eric makes these in the USA. It is very hard to do the regular action figures in the USA, but we have people working on it as we speak. But Eric makes these here in the USA, and also with that campaign that we were just looking at, everyone. Well, for a certain tier, this is going to be available in there. It's going to be a red glow in the dark Johnny Phantasm. So if you're into these guys, there's a lot of people that kind of collect these specifically. But yeah, it's crazy with toy manufacturing. I had to learn a lot about toy manufacturing getting into these figures, and it's weird. When you go to a town or through a certain part of town, and there's that's where all the car dealerships are.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you go to a certain town, and that's where all the music stores are. Well, in China, the way that the toy factories work is, let's say, for example, one town will specialize in making Transformers. It's every factory in that neighborhood makes Transformers. It's you go to a certain town, and all they do are make robots. You go to the town that's next over, they make the Marvel Legend 6-inch Star Wars type figure, right? Mm-hmm. And then the figures, the Johnny Phantasm figures, that's made in a Kenner style type of 5-point, more simplified figure. It's weird how all their towns are kind of split up. But what's been happening over there is, and this is what we're dealing with Johnny Phantasm, is the factories are not allowed to be open 5 days, or even they used to be open 6 days a week. China's trying to conserve energy, So toy factories are only allowed to be open 2 days a week now.
Wow.
So that's why if you go to Walmart or if you go to Target, there's some
no
bare
toys?
sections that are available. Yeah, they're just missing.
What town? Yeah, sorry.
No. So it's just interesting because a lot of people have been trying to send. Like I know Hasbro is now sending stuff to Vietnam to get made instead of doing it in China. So you know, in the 80s, you know, the early He-Man stuff used to be made in South America. But you know, that last comment, you know, it's interesting because we do need to start making toys in America again. Because I mean, you know, in the 50s and the 60s, like we made everything here. You know, It's like now it's like we don't make shit. It's like we don't even make antibiotics in this country. You know, it's like
we're a country of services. We're not a production.
Yeah,
we
this
don't
is
produce
a service-based
anymore. We're a
economy.
service country. Yeah, that's it.
And people don't want to work. I'm just curious about China. Is I wonder which town in China makes global pandemic murdering viruses, but I digress. But if we can't do it in the United States of America, let's just say it is too expensive. You got unions, you got all this. Why not do these things in Mexico? Why not do them?
Yeah.
Central America?
Yeah, Patrick. Why isn't this happening? What is going on,
dude? I've said that same argument. Like, keep it in this hemisphere at least. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and these people are all coming here to this country because their governments are so awful.
Billy, like you and I. Like you and I are on the same page. Like I said the same thing. I was just like, when it comes to air conditioners, fucking fans, toys, VCRs, just make that stuff down in Guatemala, and then they won't come up here because they have jobs. You know what I'm saying?
They won't have to come. Right, they won't have to flee those countries. Haiti.
But I mean, this is all by design. This isn't like an accident. This is all. It's all about you know, money grabbing, power grabbing. It's the IMF. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on Hollow Earth.
Or down in South America. I mean, down south Antarctica. In Antarctica.
Well, what is it, Admiral
we
Byrd?
all know the Earth is flat, Patrick. You can't be hollow. It's flat.
But anyway, but you're
it's like a honeycomb.
Yeah.
Nah, but you're 100% right. It's just, again, it is by design, and it's so infuriating.
Well, I mean, I think we are going to see again. You know, like to bring Eric up an example with these figures. You know, like that he made. You know, he kind of just did this like in his house. I mean, eventually you are going to find some people that have the know-how and that have, you know, the capability to put a small toy factory somewhere. You know. Yeah. And it's going to happen eventually. You know what I'm saying? It's like it has to happen. You know, because again, it's like we don't make antibiotics here. We don't make any medicines here. It's like so much of our food, our produce comes from even like South America. It's like we don't make anything here anymore. It's like what we do is we make entertainment. That's our main thing is that we produce. You know, we make movies, we make video games, we make
weapons.
We make lots of weapons.
We make a lot of money selling weapons.
Food.
We make racism. You know, racism is very popular. You know.
Well, you know that you got those 100 ships out of Los Angeles Harbor, and I think it takes 5 weeks to unload one of those giant container ships.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's just outside of Los Angeles.
I mean, there now. That's the one. That are still waiting. You know, others departed for other ports and stuff like that. That's just out of the port of Los Angeles.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's ports in Portland, you know, in New York City, even Tampa. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can see them floating around out there, and it's crazy because there's no need for it. It's just complete nonsense. You know?
It's amazing how, like I said, you talked about you vote. You said you voted for Donald Trump. Every day they attack Donald Trump on these trumped up fake charges about the Russia hoax type of thing. Every single day they badgered him.
Yes.
They said he had 95% was negative news. I don't remember seeing the 5% of positive news with him in his 4 years in office. Mm-hmm. But here you have another guy that is protected by the press again, that's in office right now, and he's got a 36% approval rating. His approval rating is lower than Trump's ever was.
Well, I mean, he's not even really the president. I mean, like, Obama is in a basement somewhere talking in an earpiece, and Biden is just saying what Obama is saying. You know.
Yeah.
It's just it's all a hoax. Like, I mean, did you see that one scene where it was like Biden was getting the vaccine shot, and it was like a TV set where it was like a fake window. It was like a studio.
Yeah.
It was like, what the? It's like, it was like, and it's in a building across the street from the White House.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're not in the White House? Maybe they're not allowed to be.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
I don't know. Like I said, you got the things with. I'm gonna get in trouble now. I wasn't supposed to speak. Now I'm gonna get in trouble. That he said.
Yeah.
He just admits all these things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, and I'm sure I'm going to be going to the Baltimore Comic-Con this weekend, and I'm sure that these conversations are going to be coming up.
Oh yeah. Yes, they will. Now you're gonna get the ones coming up to you that are gonna agree with you in secret, and then you're gonna get ones that are just gonna, are gonna try to attack you for,
and all the pros. I called Pat. I called Scala in the morning, and because a couple of pros came up to me, and they're like, "I gotta tell you, man, we love watching you guys. I watch you every Monday. I watch you every Thursday. We agree with you, but I can't say anything. They'd kill me if I said anything. But I want you to know that I agree with you. It was like 5 guys said that.
Yeah. It's funny. You definitely come across those people like that, and it's too bad that they just won't jump over.
No. Well, it's like I said,
everyone's got to worried about making their living and paying their bills, and crowdfunding and doing this stuff. It's not for everyone.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these guys are like, "What do I have to do?" Yeah, fuck that. No.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these people, not people, I hate saying like that, but just, a lot of professionals are just used to getting their assignment, and they do their assignment and they turn it in. Someone does the promotion, someone orders it, someone does the lettering. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff, Yeah. It's like to do this crowdfunding stuff, like, not only do you have to like know how to do it, you have to find it interesting. It's like, I find lettering interesting. I find laying a book out in InDesign interesting. I find toy making interesting. So it's like like all the aspects that have to do with the things that I do, like, I find interesting in some kind of way. And it's great because, like, over here in Comicsgate, it's like indie publishing is flourishing, and it's really up to me and everyone else. It's up to Billy, it's up to whoever to do as well as they want to do.
Yeah.
So it's really great. It's kind of like a new age for indie comics. It's really good. And it's like, it's interesting because, like, the SJWs are actually helping us. Like, they're actually alienating people that kind of find their way to us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think Billy will know what I'm talking about. Like, when you go to certain conventions in certain towns, you always have, like, your guys. It's like those 2 or 3 guys that always buy, like, a bunch of shit from you.
Yeah.
I stopped doing conventions, a few months before the pandemic or whatever, and going on Ethan's channel a lot. I found a lot of these guys because they found Ethan's channels too.
Yeah.
It's like we all had the same type of mindset, They stopped going to conventions. They were sick of cosplayers. They were sick of all the shenanigans and blah, blah, blah. And they didn't like comics anymore. These dudes that they used to throw down a lot of money at conventions, I'm finding them here through YouTube. It's like they found me, They found me through Ethan. They found me through Shane, or they found Shane through me, or it's very interesting how it's like it finds a way, like the market finds a way.
Well, it's cool because you gotta, what's being done in Comicsgate and everything, and with the creators and stuff. It's like, it's like it's a different business process. It's a different policy. It's about the fans. It's about engaging the fans. But it's like each creator is their own. Think of it like Image, right? They were all their own publishing house, right? Creating their own books, but they were also competing with each other. Well, it's different because in this scene, they're all their own. Everyone's their own independent public. You've got Crusade Comics, you've got Riot Press, you've got All Caps Comics. But everyone, instead of competing with each other, they hang out and have fun.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
they help cross promote, because what Billy's doing is totally different from what you're doing, and so on. So
Mhm.
it's not like, everyone's watching the same thing, and 6 different guys are essentially putting out the same book. Like, it's not like you're all putting out an
Mhm.
X-Men ripoff book or anything like that, which we got in the past. Not with Comicsgate or anything, but as kind of my image example. But
Mhm.
it's just, there's so much variety, and where else can you go? And I saw a comment like, we really need to get these streams like a TV guide type thing. People are bouncing back and forth between streams. But I mean, where else can you go to literally interact with your creators, to have your questions answered almost any night when they're live?
Well, that's what's funny about
it's such a different experience.
that's what's funny about when they make a big deal about New York Comic Con. You mean like, and like, oh, we're gonna have a panel with Donny Cates on so and so date, and it's like, we do that shit every night. It's
I
like,
know.
like what makes Donny Cates so special that he can paint his nails and get all pretty, and his wife will let him go stream for like an hour on like the Hasbro channel. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we do this shit like every night. We have a comic book panel every night. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like, I mean, like tonight, like I talked about my current product. I talked about a new product. I had a panel tonight on and it's like, I'm gonna do this 3 or 4 more times this week. It's just funny. It's like they don't get it. They don't get it over there. And something else that CG has that's so crazy is and you said it, we all help each other. It's like, I wanted to do a glow in the dark cover. I reached out to Billy and I was like, hey Billy, I was like, who does glow in the dark covers? And he was like, oh, so and so does. Graham hit me up and was like, hey, do you know who makes lunchboxes that fit comic books? And it's just funny because like, we all help each other. A lot of mainstream comic book people will not help you. It's like they're all kind of like what's his name, Daniel Day-Lewis, and There Will Be Blood. It's like they're just in it for themselves. It's like, and they'll just step right over you. Comicsgate, man, it's like like Ethan said something a while ago, and it's funny because it's about pie. But he said the pie is infinite. With YouTube, like, the pie is infinite. It's like, we have an infinite amount of customers out there. There's no reason to kind of like be like crabs in a bucket crawling all over each other. It's like, we can help each other, and a rising tide lifts all ships. So it's like, the better I do, the better Billy does, the better Billy does, the better I do, the better Ethan does, the better we all do, So it's just it's very interesting because there hasn't really been like a niche like this in the comic book industry. It's often like, people often kind of compare it to Image, but it's not like Image like at all.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's in spirit of, I think, as far as being creative, but I mean, it's something completely different.
Correct, and it's a good thing, and people try to tear it down. I mean, everything negative about it, I've never experienced, to be personally.
Yeah,
well, it's like,
I've
whenever
never
something
experienced any of
negative
that.
pops up, it's like, it always comes back on them tenfold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like they always try to kind of, have these gotcha moments with us, or there'll be a debate, and then the debate will actually kind of paint them in a corner, or it's like, Ethan with the the news of Superman turning gay and them saying no, he's not, and then obviously he is. It's just crazy, just like how cutting edge and I don't know, like, more up to date like we are than even they are themselves. I mean, like, I bet you people in the mainstream, when Ethan was saying that Superman was going to be gay, no one even believed it. I mean, we believed it because we totally saw it coming. We were like, of course he's going to be gay, I remember I told my mom, like when people were first talking about it, she's like, that's never going to happen. And then my mom saw on like whatever wherever she reads for news, she saw it, and she was like, you're right. And I was like, isn't that crazy? And now it's like, what, truth, justice, and what's the new saying?
Better tomorrow.
Better tomorrow.
Better tomorrow.
And that's because
they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay royalties.
Yeah, they don't want to pay, but it also doesn't align with their agenda. It doesn't. It doesn't align with the agenda. They don't like America. They don't like the American way.
No.
As I said the other night on Monday, well, if it wasn't for the American way, half the world would be speaking German or Russian.
Yeah, well, I mean, like everyone are
Half the
communists.
West. Let's
Like
call it that.
they're all commies. You know,
Yeah.
I hate saying it like that, but it's like they are. That was one of the reasons why I got out of teaching, is because I was around these other instructors that were just like complete communists. Like they were just completely brainwashed. Like, you know, they would talk about on a regular basis how China was such a great model.
Jeez.
Like in colleges, and then they're teaching this stuff to students. And I remember, you know, my Chinese students would look at me because, again, like I used to teach at a computer animation school. I would say 1/4 of my students were from China, and they were like, no.
Yeah. Well,
You know, I had a sister once. I don't know what happened to her. You know, like,
yeah.
you know, it's like they have like organ harvesting vans that go around villages taking kidneys. You know, it's like they have those nets that catch suicide jumpers off of the Apple buildings because they work people to death over at Apple. You know, it's like that country is a mess. You know, they have they have a holiday there where for a week they eat dog.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's crazy.
Dog
You know,
festivals. It's
savage. It's savage.
in my industry, many of the contractors I work with are, you know, from other countries, and they come here and we talk about this stuff, and they're like, "You guys are nuts. This is the best place to be. You
Yeah.
don't want to, like, you don't know what it's like over there. You've never lived it." He's like, your country is selfish brats. Like, you guys don't know what it's like, and you whine and this, and, you know, and they're, you know, like, and you guys are like this, and blah, 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 you know, and they're going off on me, and I'm like, dude, I'm with you. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I totally understand. I'm 100% with you. And like, it makes no sense, and they're pissed because they came here because they wanted the American way.
Yeah,
but then they see the Americans not wanting the American way, but they are uneducated. They don't understand what it's like outside these borders.
Yeah,
they don't know what life is truly like.
But it's interesting, you know, even in England, where, you know, women were doing this thing where, as a sign of being a feminist, they were wearing burqas.
Yeah,
and
I know.
it's like you don't understand what a burqa means, do you? Yeah, like it's like you're the opposite. You're wearing it for the opposite reasons, you know. So yeah, I mean, people are just like misinformed, and, you know, and all this horse shit where they're tearing down these statues, all these Civil War statues, they're just getting rid of history. You know, it's like they want people to forget. I think I forget what his name was. It was the pharaoh Akhenaten, I believe, and he was coined like the first Christ. He was like the prototype or whatever you want to call him. But they got rid of all hieroglyphs that had anything to do with him. So we know nothing about this. It was like a 30-year reign that he was ruling Egypt. We know nothing about it because they got rid of all the hieroglyphs. And that's kind of what they're doing with us, is like, you know, it's like they're getting rid of all the evidence of the Civil War, what the Civil War was actually fought about. And the further that we get from stuff like that, it's like it's harder for us to remember, you know. And then eventually it's just like, you know, history is written by the victors, and if they're the victors, then they can say whatever they want, you know.
That's it.
I mean, like even during the Civil War, it's like so many countries, Maryland, New Jersey, New Hampshire, they still had slaves. You know, it's like I think New Jersey had the most slaves in the North at the time of the Civil War. The Civil War wasn't just about slavery; it was about silver. It was about the silverback. You know, Abraham Lincoln wanted to back the dollar with something else besides gold. But I mean, it had a lot to do with trade. It just wasn't about slavery. But we don't know about that anymore because we got rid of all that. And now that these statues are gone, it's like more history is destroyed. And then pretty soon it's gonna be like Idiocracy. Like no one even knows what happened before. You know, it's just whatever. What's it called? What's the encyclopedia site? What's it called?
World Book?
What is it?
What, Wikipedia?
Yeah, Wikipedia. You know,
Yeah.
pretty soon it's just like whatever Wikipedia says. That's it. You know.
Oh, I know.
Well, that's all they go by is
Yeah, that's what we
Wikipedia.
go
I
by.
mean, it's BS. You know, they don't want to learn, and that's the problem. No one, you know,
No,
you
they
can't forget your past. You learn from your past for a better future, and we're constantly bettering our future. But when they start going in these other directions, where it's literally just like whiny babies, I don't want this,
Well,
wah wah wah, and then it's like, okay, it like legit is like a generation, like everyone fucked up real bad. Right, like everyone fucked up real bad somewhere along the lines, and now it's basically like, if I don't want it, I'm going to throw a tantrum no matter how old I am, and I'm going to get my way. And when I get my way, I'm not going to support what I fought for. I'm just going to go on something else. You know, at least support what you're doing and maintain it. It's not being done.
no.
Yeah.
It's just on to the next.
But they're also
I don't have
more-
representation here. Okay, I got it. I'm moving on. Well, support it, because now it's dying. Like, if that's what you wanted, support it. Oh, wait, you don't have any money. You don't have a real job. Like, all you're doing is whining around bitching. But support the industries you're fighting to change. They're not doing it. And then it's reverting back, right? It's reverting back, because now it's like, okay, Star Wars, yeah, this does suck, huh? So new CEO comes in and it's like, all right, you're gone, she's gone, he's gone. All right, now we got to make this, you know, we got to make money again. People are losing money. Fans are getting pissed. It's the same with comics, but now it's like, great, you don't want that? Go to Comicsgate. Go to other indie creators. Get what you want, because mainstream's not going to give it to you, because they don't want this. They don't want this right here pointing at them. That's all they care about. We just don't want that pointing at us, because we want to be on your side, right?
Yeah.
They don't want the boycott, because that small voice, for some reason, has so much fucking power. It makes zero sense. It's like a mouse can throw an elephant. How is that possible? But for some reason in this world, it's possible.
It's interesting, because they definitely don't care about money. You know, and that's one of the reasons why it points to being Marxist and commies, because like they don't care about money. You know, a lot of these editors, you know, like the Milkshake Girls, and you know, I'm trying to think of all these, like the chick that was in charge at Kickstarter. You know, the gatekeeping girl. I forget her name right now. We make fun of her all the time. I can't believe I forget her. I'm forgetting her name.
The one that's not there anymore.
Yeah.
What the heck was her name?
But I mean, it's like like I think like her name. What is her name? Someone help me out. I always
remember it, Billy. Then she started like running like Scott Snyder's.
Yeah, she works with Scott Snyder.
She works for Scott Snyder or something.
Yeah, well, so that gal right there, like she went to college for, I mean, I think her master's degree, Camilla
Kang.
Zong.
Zong.
I think it's Camilla Zong is how you say it. It's not Kang, it's the one above it, Zong. But so like her degree is in social sciences. It's like, and she was into, like, if you look into her college background, she was into like a lot of like protesting and a lot of like Marxist protesting and fighting. You know, she was like in PETA and all that shit like that. And then she won some type of writing contest for Top Cow, and then somehow she like started editing for DC. But it's like, you have to kind of follow and see where these people are being taught, you know, and who are being, you know, who's teaching them. And like I said before, from my experience of working in a college, it's communist professors that are teaching these young editors, apparently, you know, these young editors, these things, these practices. And what they do is they bring it over to comic books, where it's like, they don't know anything about comic books. They saw Spider-Man 2. They liked it, you know? And that's about as much experience as they have with comic books. And then they try editing things like X-Men, and they're like, well, how do we sell a lot of X-Men books? Let's make 30 different covers.
Yeah, I know.
And they're like, well, look how great we did this month. Look how many books we fucking sold. And it's like, yeah, but
and
how
now we're out of paper. And now there's a paper shortage because they're just filling them in with interiors no one wants.
I mean, and some of those, you know, some of those X-Men #1 covers, they look like Comic Con sketch covers. Like they were just awful.
Yeah, I'll be honest, some of these new mainstream books, you know, because I'll get digital copies of them. I'm not going to waste my money, and I'll you know, explore them if they're you know, big hype. All right, what's the big hype about? And I look at some of the interior work on some of these books, and I'm like, how does even not even just the writing? Some of these artists that are coming in. No offense to them. I mean, it's their style. Okay, I respect your style, but sometimes I'm like, man, it just doesn't seem like the quality that should be. The illustration with this story things don't pair either, quality wise.
Well, because I mean, a lot of them are not taught properly. Like they don't learn the classics. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, today, day and age, like if you're gonna go learn how to do comic books, like you had to pick up like an Alex Toth and a Joe Kubert book, and then you graduate to Frank Miller, and then you go, and then you get Billy Tucci, and then and then you go on from there. But it's like these kids, they start off reading something that's like. I'm trying to think of, I don't want to throw anyone underneath the bus, but they just pick up a random comic book and they just start reading it and they don't know the roots of it. Like where did Speed Lines come from? Where did Kirby Crackle come from? Shane always talks about this editor that he was working with that he had to kind of explain to her what panels were. And what a panel inside of a panel was, and it's like, how did you get this job? How did you how do you not know what an inset panel is, but you're an editor at DC comic books, I know. And it's like, and again, to kind of go back to how did I get involved with Comicsgate? Those are the editors that I was dealing with, and I was already 33 years old. Again, I kind of got in the game kind of late. I got involved in teaching, and then I was working for Wizards of the Coast. By the time I got to comic books, I was already older than the editors already, and they were giving me instructions, and I would be like, you actually don't know what you're talking about, and that's when I was just like, I started asking questions, not to them, but just out loud, how did you get this job? And this is around 2014, 2015. This is before the election. Then once the election came in, the election put a lot of things in perspective, and just where people stood, mentally, and politically too. I'm a classic liberal, I'm a Thomas Jefferson liberal. But by today's standards, I'm fucking a right-wing extremist because they moved the goalposts so far that I'm standing in the same spot that I was. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but now it's since I have a manga hat, I'm basically a right-wing extremist. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's just crazy.
And that's why people need to go back Sleepy Hollow.
Yes, that's right. This is why you need to back a Made in America book.
Yeah,
by a liberal who voted for Donald Trump.
Well, what's fun again? What's fun about Sleepy Hollow? We got off on a really crazy tangent right there. We'll try to bring it home, but the Sleepy Hollow is known as United States' first horror story. It's celebrating 201 years old. It's a classic. I want to keep it alive. I want to keep it true. I'm not, I'm doing some adaptation as far as, some of the panel stuff that I'm putting in here, but for the most part, it's Washington Irvington's words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just keeping it real and keeping this classic alive. And, as I mentioned before, pick up one for yourself, pick up one for the local library, pick up a shirt if you just want to support Riot Press, because the shirts just say Riot Press on them, they don't say Sleepy Hollow or anything on there. And just talking about Riot Press, everything that you help us here, it helps us make more cool stuff in the future. So if for those of you that backed, and I see a lot of people in the chat, and I know you guys backed, and I appreciate it, and I love you. If you're on the fence, please consider it, because it's going to a good cause.
Yeah. I backed it.
I know you did, Billy. I appreciate that.
I didn't, but I will.
You will.
Oh yeah,
you'll give in.
I need the shirt.
Yeah, I got
that's my thing now. I'm trying to get hats and shirts. So when I do my streams, I've got I'm representing other creators.
Plus, you got to wear them at cons and piss people off.
Hell
Yeah. Oh, dude, like, it was so crazy when I was at a MegaCon. I remember like on Thursday at MegaCon, I set up around noon. Then me and my buddy, we went and go grab some White Castle because there's a White Castle in Orlando. Well, that's which is a big deal for
There's
us.
a
Billy.
White Castle in Orlando?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I mean, I haven't had White Castle in a very long time. So we went and got White Castle, and then we went back to the convention center. And as we rolled up to the booth, there were so many people that had like Cyberfrog shirts on and a Graveyard shirt and Starlight Cats and Johnny Phantasm shirts. It was crazy. It was just like the sea of. Oh, we got quite a few. Thank you guys.
Yeah, you're up to it broke into 14K. Awesome.
All right.
Ooh.
I appreciate that.
You got that reminder from Eric. Hit that refresh.
That's right. Eric's awesome for that. But man, it was very impressive seeing the CG turnout in person. I mean, Eric was there. Like he saw it too. It was all these people that knew each other from like the chats or online, and everyone had Cyberfrog shirts and like CG shirts on. It was very like unifying.
Yeah.
My cat is stuck on me. Get off me, asshole.
Oh, come on, bro.
I give him a hard time. Oh, and here, I'll show this off. I have kind of a hard copy of what the book is probably going to look like. It's not going to have so much of this extra over here. This is going to be trimmed a little bit, but again, it's a hardback, and that's what the back is going to look like. What I really like about it is this kind of old school golden type of children's book type of spine here with the images here.
Yeah.
But this is about the size. It's going to be probably a hair smaller than this, but this is what it's going to look like, and it's going to be a party.
Awesome, man.
Well
Well,
done,
hey,
bro.
Patrick,
Well
man,
done.
thanks for hanging with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to see you break 14K.
Absolutely. I hope I didn't get too political.
No, we're all in it, man. We're all in this together. We're all in this together.
And it's a great, you know what? We either will all hang separately or we'll all hang together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just hang together, man.
Let's hang together. And that's what we do 4 or 5 times a week is we hang together. man.
Almost every.
What?
Everyone's pretty good at taking the weekends off, though. Everyone's
Yeah.
pretty good at taking the weekends
Patrick,
off.
listen, Niall Scala and I got something big going on.
Ooh.
Will it be for our 450th episode? Or
I'm
475?
thinking I want to try to pull it off for 450, but I do need to talk to you about something.
Okay, we're
on the
going to
setup
put
of
on
it.
a virtual.
No.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold your tongue, mister.
Hold your tongue. But you're invited. You're invited.
I'm intrigued
We'll
now.
chat with you
Everyone's
after
invited.
when we're off the air. Everyone's
Yeah.
invited to this. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. But there's a small piece that me and Billy need to figure out.
Yeah, we do.
And then we'll know if it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
I'll
All right,
go
man.
to the
Guys,
gallows
please.
with you guys. Yes, Henry.
Yeah,
All
everybody.
right, but
please.
make sure to back Sleepy Hollow, back all those great books out there. And if you still haven't yet, remember 2, still in demand.
Yep.
She Omnibus.
I
Grab
got
your
mine.
copy while they last. $60 now. Otherwise,
It'll be
what's it
$100
gonna be,
bucks.
Billy?
Yep. It's going to be $100, almost half price, man.
$100.
That's a
Make
big
sure to
book.
get out there. So after you back Sleepy Hollow tonight, make sure to back Omnibus, the She Omnibus, Volume 1.
Mhm.
Yeah. Of like 5 or 6 of them.
It's gonna be insane, brother. It's gonna be insane. But yeah, there's so many great campaigns out there. So in the description below as well, there's probably 10, 12, 15 other campaigns supporting our fellow creators out there. So if you want to check out some other great campaigns, if you haven't yet, make sure to click those links, give a follow, and also help you in your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. If you're a fellow streamer, please reach out to creators like Patrick, Billy, get them on your shows, get these campaigns larger and bigger. Continue growing what we're doing. This is a golden age, platinum. I mean, we'll create a new antimantium age. What are we doing here? We're taking over comics. That's what we're doing. We're giving
Unattaining.
people what they want, when they want,
The
how they want.
Triassic period of comics.
Yes, in an immersive environment. So
Laughing
please
for 100
support
million
everyone.
years.
And subscribe to the channel and share our channels too while you're at it. But anyways, you guys are awesome. The chat was great tonight. Great questions. Great to see some new faces, some old faces. Mod, you're awesome. I'm glad we got some porn into the
where did that
chat
come from?
tonight.
Yeah, a little
It's
bit.
probably one of those bot things, you know? One of those
Holy
bots,
shit.
you know? But if you click it, I
Parnell
may get a
or
monetary
Yeah.
investment.
I think it's because we brought up bidet.
Let's see. Bidet.
It's a hot word for some reason.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
All right, everyone.
Leg.
Yeah, man, that leg's something nasty. Well, everyone, hey, have yourselves a great night. No professionals tomorrow, right, Billy? It's
No
postponed?
professionals. Yep, that's right. No professionals tomorrow because Graham Nolan's daughter's getting married.
Congratulations.
And Frag has got his Fragtoberfest, but we will be coming back next Thursday here on the Pop XP, and it's going to be called the Professionals Character Development, Diversity, and Destruction.
Oh, wow.
We're going to talk about
It's going to be deep.
The bros are going to talk about how we developed our individual characters, and we're going to talk about diversifying characters and all. And then we're going to talk about how some publishers destroy said characters without even consulting their creators.
Oof, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be deep.
I wonder if Graham's gonna have a lot to say about that one.
I think Graham is gonna.
I think Graham's
So, all right, guys. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks, Patrick.
No problem.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.